Hi, welcome back to Explore with JNJ. I'm Janelle.
And I'm Jeremy. And if you're new here, thank you for joining us. And if you're joining us back, our old time folks from long time, it's good to see you guys again. Yeah, this is different. It's a different video. I think I've been wanting to do, or well, we have been wanting to do this video for some time.
A long time.
Yeah.
More so you.
More so me. Yeah, but I think now is a better time to do it. So,
All right, so today's video, we're gonna be spilling the tea
I'm not
on
spilling no tea.
why we left our 9-to-5 jobs in Jamaica.
All right, I'm gonna spill
Why
a
we
little
turned
tea.
our back on corporates.
I feel old. I know, I don't feel old. I'm actually very old. But I started as an intern
Where?
at a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Let us leave it at that. I worked my way from an intern, then I became a host, and then I became a supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my last position as a supervisor.
Okay.
So
For me, when I left university, most of you know that I did study hospitality.
jump this up and jump this. All right, go on, sorry.
So most of you know that I did hospitality. Well, I majored in hotel and resort management. However, because of COVID and hospitality kind of being shut down, I decided to transition into a different sector for my internship. So I was able to work in a financial institution for my internship. So because of that experience that I got, I would have been doing that. It opened up my eyes to thinking about a whole different industry, which is still in business because even though I did hospitality, I still did accounting, I still did banking, still did business management, all of that lovely stuff. So that internship opened the gate for another opportunity that I would have applied for at a bank.
So you move from one bank to the next bank.
Right. So I was at that bank. Well, my last job, I was there for over 2 years. It was over 2 years. And I was in mainly customer service, client relations, so to speak. And it was pretty good while it lasted. I think it was generally a good organization to be in. However, I started to experience burnout after some time. Where I was traveling to, it was very far. And I noticed that I was spending a lot of time traveling. Traveling itself was pretty exhausting. Being client facing every single day for so many hours was also
tired.
tiring, very
Mentally,
draining.
like not even physically, but mentally,
Yeah,
it's tiring.
it was. So even though I liked it, or I liked some aspects of it, I realized that this is not what I want to be doing for the next 5-10 years. And within the location that I was at, I didn't see myself transitioning into another role. So I started to think about that very long and hard because I know I wanted to do something different. Like there's a time when you, and I know a lot of persons may go through this, there's a phase in your corporate journey where sometimes you may wake up dreading going to work.
Yeah, man.
And I didn't want to keep doing that because it was really weighing on me mentally. The battle every day to
The fight.
get up
Like a physical
and
body
go
fight.
to work.
Yeah.
I did not want to go to work a lot of times based on how I was feeling, based on how drained I was mentally. A lot of times I didn't want to go to work.
Yep.
There are a lot of experiences that I've had that made me cry. I wanted to stop crying. And just thinking about it now, it almost makes me feel a bit emotional, but luckily
And
I've
when she
healed.
bought me one fight, isn't it?
Luckily I've
And
healed
that's a
from a
funny-
lot
you know,
of
it's a
what I
funny
went
thing.
through.
That's a funny thing about this too. That anytime I see you crying, I want to fight. Grant you, I'm not going to say I'm the greatest fighter, but I feel like, yeah, me fight for
And
you.
you say,
Me fight for
you don't
you.
worry for me.
Yeah, man, I work. What? No, me work for you, man.
All right. So what clicked for you that you wanted to do something different?
I was just tired. I think it was just more like, I reached a point where I was not even burned. It's like you burn out and you burn out from burnout. I don't even know if that making sense. Like, I was excessively tired. Like, my life was, I visited home. So I lived at work and visited home, literally. That was basically it. So like, a lot of times I'll joke and say, hey, I don't even use half the things at
In your
home.
house.
You just bed. You just literally go to bed, wake up, and go back to
Start
work.
the whole cycle again.
Exactly. So basically, to how much hours, honestly, it's not a lot. Well, I don't know if it's a lot of hours. It varies for everybody. I know I was working sometimes above normal in certain situations, not all the time, but I think for the most part, you know, you're working like,
I don't think there was ever a time where you worked 8 hours or 9 hours, which
I don't
would
know.
be the norm for anybody.
No,
else.
I don't think it was very rare that I worked at 8-hour shift.
Have you even ever worked an 8 hour
Yes,
shift?
I have.
Like you go work and come home exactly at the time?
Yeah, once. Once or like a couple of times. As I said, I don't,
Rarely.
like rarely. I mean, sometimes it was on my own accord. Like, you know, you had to wait for something but most of the times you had something to do or something to write up or
But that's just that's the reality of
the
working in the
industry.
hospitality industry,
Yeah,
though.
you don't.
Especially when you work in management,
Yeah.
you don't have the luxury of just clocking out
And
when your
done.
schedule says you should clock out. There's
Yeah.
always more to do, and I think
Check on your hospitality friends, yeah? buy them
it's,
something.
It's rough.
I can
out
buy
there.
them and I don't want to condone.
No,
I would say
just buy them something they
buy
like.
something in life.
Treat them.
Buy them something
They
to
deserve
drink.
it.
Now go leave that. Them need it. Man, I tell you, them need it.
So yeah, like going through all of that, and especially being the persons that we are, we always try to go above and beyond to do the best we can.
That's right.
So we weren't like, even though we felt exhausted, we still got up every day. We gave it 100%. We were still putting our best.
Me not give 100 at one point in time.
We were still trying to give it 100%. We were still trying to put our best foot forward. We still served our clients with a smile. We still maintained good client relationships and bringing in persons into the business, like creating that environment that we were meant to create, being in those spaces. So we were still trying to give our all, even though we started to feel depressed, drained, burnt out.
Yeah.
And that's just the type of people we are.
Yeah. So like anything that we're doing, you're going to do it to 100%. That's just something that I've lived. A mantra that I've lived by. Like kind of, you know, like I think even today I was typing it, so it's like whatever your hands find to do it with all your might. And I think that is literally one of the mantras / Bible verses that I kind of adopted and what caused me to get up and go. 'Cause there's a whole heap of days that I just never want to go away. I just want to sleep. I just want, like at this point, like I kind of adopted Janelle's craving, I think, somewhat like you just want ice cream.
You just want comfort foods.
Like one big tub of ice cream and just sit down and eat ice cream and binge one Netflix show for like 3 days for recover from one day, you know?
Like
So
most days, I couldn't even come home and watch something because I was
just
too
tired.
tired. We just
Tired.
come home and we just want to sleep.
yeah.
I think what I used to do to try to make it through each week, on Fridays I would try to treat myself to something. So I'm gonna buy myself some snacks, some ice cream, some
Some
chocolate.
snack. I love a snack.
I
Some
used to
snack.
buy a lot of snacks.
Yeah.
And Friday evenings, I would just indulge and just try to let go.
Yeah.
But you know, see where the mindset shift came in. And when we were thinking about leaving, it wasn't just an overnight decision. It was a lot of months of
Planning.
praying,
And
a lot of praying, a lot of strategizing.
A lot of
because
coordination too in strategizing. So a lot of that was involved.
A lot of times, and I know persons who may be going through the same thing, they may just want to just get up and send in them 2-week notice.
Yeah, no.
Because them just can't
don't do
bother.
that.
I would not recommend it. I would suggest to
You have to sit down and plan it out.
yeah.
Like
And
if you're going
some-
to do that,
And sometimes your planning may not align 100%. Sometimes you may have to step out in faith. A lot of times you may have to step out in faith because sometimes we're stuck in a situation.
Yeah, step out in faith, but step out with a plan too.
Right.
So yeah.
After you would have prepared. Because sometimes we step out or we're be so fearful to step out because we don't get a next job yet or because we don't close this business deal as yet. So we let that fear keep us in a place where we no longer see ourselves in.
And that's true. And for me, I think same thing concur with what Janelle said. I think it's really a matter about ensuring that what you're doing, you plan it. I think I don't want to say the minute you're going to a job, you plan your exit, but always have an exit strategy. So not only for wanting to quit, but just if
Even
anything
wanting
happen,
but even wanting to grow.
grow.
Because you
but-
can be in a role. You shouldn't be thinking to stay in that one role forever. What is the next step? How am I going to grow? How am I going to go to the next level? How am I going to learn a different area so I can be more diverse in my experience and my knowledge?
So yeah,
Always think about how you can better yourself from where you currently are.
yeah. So that is it. That's one thing. And as I said, not just growth, but I always think 2 ends of the spectrum, growth and worst case scenario. So like, what if the boss get up today and decide say, yo, me I lock down this and I'm tired, and I go up on whatever. What you gonna do? The man lock down the business. So
look
you
at
have to,
what COVID showed us.
Yeah, and I know that I know it won't be the position for a lot of persons because I know a lot of persons have way more responsibility. And it might be you alone and it might be a little difficult. But what I'll encourage somebody to do is just to find a strategy, look at your finances, examine where your money is going, and
Prepare for it.
and try to prepare for it. Like even if it's just $1,000, 1,000 is more than 0. So at least try. Don't be afraid to limit your expenses too. I mean, what we have done is way unconventional.
People would say we're crazy. Let's just put it at that.
Yeah, look at
People would say we're crazy, but this is how it really went, right?
Yeah.
So I was applying, well, from on my end. So from months before, I was trying to apply for other jobs because I was still thinking about transitioning into another job. And I also had the business idea in my mind as a plan B. So we'll soon get to all the business details. So for a few months, I was saving money. So we weren't really going out and doing much. So whatever excess money we had, we put it down to save it because we know, so we're going to left soon. We didn't know.
Well, like I knew she was going to leave soon.
I knew I was
Like,
gonna leave too.
yeah, but it was on my part. I never thought. Let's just say that when I left or made the decision to leave, like I never knew I was gonna leave that soon. Cause I so one of the things that we wrote out like 4 or 5 different plans. So like a plan where we both left, a plan where one person was working, a plan where we transitioned to different jobs. So we had like, ooh, nice breeze.
Yeah.
Let's make a breeze part. So yeah, so we had like that. So those were our plans.
Options.
So our options that we did, and like kind of like when I play football or a game, we wrote our game plans then. So yeah, I never planned for jump ship so quick, but
So
yeah.
I think it all happened when it was supposed to happen. So
I think it did.
after a few months of saving, and I was applying for different jobs, and I wasn't really getting any feedback that I would have wanted. So at a point, even though I was still trying to follow the game plan, what I was currently going through, it started to feel like too much.
Like
So
4 times.
I made a decision that I'm just gonna stop corporate, leave my 9 to 5, and then focus my energy on either one, applying for other jobs or building the business or both. So strategically, we had our savings, and because
Boy. Me like the breeze.
and because I was working in a permanent role as well, I was contributing to a pension scheme every month. So I also knew that I would have had access to that once I left to kind of work as a buffer for a few months while I figured things out.
And as I say, guys, it depending like
Everybody's situation is
everybody's
different.
situation is very different. Like we're young and
No kids,
no kids,
no loans or major loans, so to speak.
major loans per se, but it everybody's case is gonna be a bit different. So
All right.
yes, I think on our ends there are more benefits for us, so we could make that transition. But yeah, so yeah, it's a little bit on the crazy side. Some of the stuff that we're doing. So, but just starting out, taking it by one day at a time and see where it's going. So she did that. So
I
she dipped first.
I left at the end of January, and at the time we were gonna say, okay, I'm gonna figure out stuff, and he's gonna still keep working his 9 to 5 and make his transition later on.
Yeah.
However,
I just reached to a point where I just was burnt out. Like I got to a point where my body physically was telling me that something was wrong. Like internally, my whole body was saying like, yo, if we do this for another couple of months, I don't know how our health would be like. And also doing, one thing I tell you guys to do is before you dip, just use up a health card. Just do everything. Dental work, any form of health work you need to do, just if you're planning to do this route, just use up a health card to the max until you get back to a new health card. Like, yeah, it work out.
all right.
So that's a fun fact. But one of the things I felt like my health was being compromised, and I just felt very unhappy and I felt stuck-ish, and that I wanted to grow.
And then there also comes a point where you kind of get a wake-up call. I got a wake-up call the November before. That life is short. We have to live in a way that if we look back, we can say, I did what I always wanted to do. I was happy. I had no regrets. If I don't wake up tomorrow, would I have been satisfied how I lived my life? Will I know that I made the choices I want to make and I wasn't coerced I wasn't
I
forced.
wasn't forced by them.
And I didn't feel like I was, you know, stuck. So I didn't want to feel stuck anymore. So after I made my transition, he made his transition like 1 month after. And I know what you may be thinking, yeah, craziness, we're mad, we don't have
It
no
was wild.
sense.
It was wild.
Yeah.
It was a, I would say it's a big leap of faith because you're literally walking out into the world like you're stopping your phones like
Yeah.
that. So did that, transition, and then we started to work on some stuff.
All right. So we were applying for other jobs at first, but realized that it wasn't in the direction we wanted to go. We wanted to do something completely different. We wanted to do something that aligns with our passion even more.
Yeah.
So we decided to go all in on the business ideas or some of the business ideas that we had.
So I decided to narrow down on photography. So that's what I am doing right now. So please, I'll leave it links in the description. Everybody can follow, look at the work over there. Well, more work is gonna be uploaded. I've been working on that. So I'm doing photography now, focusing on hospitality businesses and professional headshots for people and
Commercial spaces.
residential spaces,
Commercial spaces.
That sort of thing. But just to say it, I'm just now like a commercial portrait photographer. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, I've always been on the more creative side. So I always love, or growing up, I've always loved
She can draw.
events, decor, being all artsy,
She
being
can
all
draw.
creatively, craftsy. Yeah. Or I used to can draw, but anyways,
She
back
can
to the
draw.
story.
Me can't
So
draw, but she can draw.
I've always been that person. So one of my business ideas was to enter the events, decor space, events rentals. So then we birthed Melina, which is our baby that we had together. Yeah, that's our business baby
Yes,
that
our business
we
baby.
created. And yeah, so right now I'm specializing in welcome signs, proposal setups, cake toppers. I'm gonna be transitioning into other rentals as well for your events.
Yeah, very
Just all the
soon.
cute,
Very
nice
neat stuff, you know?
stuff.
Yeah. No.
So, how does it feel now that we've decided to pursue our purpose and our passion, doing what we want to do, living on our own terms?
For me, it's been fulfilling. It's scary and it's fulfilling at the same time because you're literally using, I mean, you have jobs coming in, here and there, but your mindset has to totally shift. Like this is a part of it that everybody says, oh, be your own boss, but like there's literally such a huge shift in your mindset because now it's not a boss. You're not going into a job, somebody telling you, okay, this is due, that is due, that is due. And you do it and you get paid and you go home. Like, have to be figuring out, okay, you have to write your own schedule and you have to execute on your own time.
And you have to stick to it. You have to be consistent because there's nobody behind you to say, make sure you do this, make sure you do this. You have to literally hold yourself accountable.
So that mindset was eye-opening and still trying to shift to it, so like literally using Instagram on your phone is time wasted or money burning literally. So it costs you to use your stuff, like every little stuff that you're doing. So that's been the eye-opening thing for me. It's very fulfilling, just the same as I said. I don't want to get to the end of my life and not knowing that I didn't give myself the chance to do this opportunity.
Or try something different.
Try something like this. Because I mean, we're bright individuals. I know that we can find another job. So, so that's just the thing. I think it's just been rewarding. It's just been scary. Like it's been really scary and really fulfilling at the same time.
All right. So, yes, as Jeremy would have said, I think it's important to try something different, try something new, because we only have the one life and we have a limited amount of time on this earth. So we would have, yes, tried this. And if we want to in the future, we can transition into something else. We can pivot. We can decide that we want to go back to corporate. The world is literally our oyster to create.
Also, we don't have to focus on trying to get something in Jamaica. We could probably just look to something in a different Caribbean island or overseas.
In a different country.
So, yeah. So, as I said, we're smart enough. So, I have that confidence that we can find something else to do. Yeah.
If we
so desire.
But for now, we are sticking on the path of being business owners.
Yeah, and
being
just trying
entrepreneurs,
to explore that space.
Being content creators. Now we have this big space of opportunities in content creation. So we want to be able to maximize all of that.
Yeah. And that's it for me.
All right. So what are 2 lessons you have learned on this journey of transitioning from your 9 to 5, being a full-time business owner?
There's so many lessons, guys.
Choose 2.
That's have to be a whole different video. Like 2 lessons from this week. Just know, say, like when you deal with government agencies, you have a whole heap of drive up and like if you need
patience.
And a lot of patience. Separate and apart from that, you have to track what you're doing. I am not perfect at this, but you have to try to show up consistently. That's my first lesson that I have learned and I am still learning to do. So even when you feel sick and tired, in this case, like, you take care of yourself, but you have to be consistent in what you're doing. So yeah, 2 lessons I've learned. Have a lot of patience and be consistent. And focus on your health. That's 3, but yeah.
All right. So for me, 2 lessons that I would have learned. 1, scheduling is important. Scheduling is very, very important. So having a roadmap of the things you want to do and achieve, set a timeline, and then break up those steps into smaller timelines. So putting a date to all of your tasks. I think that's one of the main things that will help to keep you accountable and make sure that you're on track for meeting your goals. So treat it like it's a regular work day. You set your schedule, you wake up,
go to bed the same time.
You eat breakfast at this time. You dedicate this time, say, okay, this is my time to work on the business. This is my time to rest. This is my time to exercise. This is my time to relax. Keeping that schedule or managing it as best as possible is what is going to keep you sane in this journey. Because if you're not careful, you will be burnt out from being an entrepreneur just the same.
Yeah.
I don't want people to believe that burnout only happens in corporate. You can be burnt out from being an entrepreneur because you're working maybe 24 hours if you allow yourself to. Because you have your work at home, so if you allow yourself to, you're gonna be working into the wee hours of the night. And not resting properly, not eating properly. So if you want to improve those other areas of your life, scheduling is going to be very important. I would say the second lesson that I've learned is to not care about what others think. As I mentioned earlier in this video, a lot of persons would say I'm crazy. So I didn't tell a lot of persons about this move, not only because I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do as yet, but because I know a lot of persons would not understand. So I think it's important to know what you want, focus on what you want, and not listen to the noise, not listen to the crowd. Just focus on doing what you need to do.
So yeah, that was...
Those were the 2 lessons that we would have learned. So I just want to use this opportunity to, 1, thank you for being on this journey with us so far. Thank you for supporting our channel. And I also want to ask you to support our businesses as well. So, this is what we're doing full time for
Right now.
photography,
Yeah.
Melina events,
Yeah.
decor and rentals, and
Yeah.
Explore with JNJ as content creators.
Yep.
So be sure to follow us on those pages. Be sure to support our business if you need our services. He's your go to person for photography. I'm your go to person for event decor and rental. So, yeah, that is us.
You can put them together.
Yes,
You get the
we
bundle.
will have joint packages coming out
Yeah,
soon.
bundle, you know?
So be sure to look
Yeah,
out
so yeah,
for that.
I'll leave those stuff in the description below. You can click on them and follow, and you can check out the website as well. For me, yeah, for me.
All right, so stay tuned for our journey. We have a lot more coming. And if you want to know more about our journey through entrepreneurship, or journey figuring things out as entrepreneurs and content creators, feel free to let us know. And we'll do more videos like this. But until next time, keep exploring and thank you for watching.